This is my bow right here. So I have it in this hand in my sight, and when I pull back, there's this little peep here, and I need to line up what I see through the peep with one of the sights. So this is like 15. Well, let me get up closer. So the top pin, stuff like that, is like close range, and since I need to hold the bow up more for like a higher range, right? Because then it arcs more. Like it's like 15, 25. I know it's 20, 30, 40, and 50, I think.
Oh, so for different distance, you have to
Yeah,
adjust. Okay.
you have different pins for different distances,
Can you
and
put
then
can you put a GoPro on there? Just for like.
yeah. So this is actually a camera,
Oh, that's
right,
what I
right
thought.
here.
Ooh.
And usually, what people do is they put that there, and that's what I had on there, and that's more of like a stabilizer. It makes it like it evens out the weight, and it takes away some of the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, there isn't a spot to pull with your hands. There's just this little loop here.
Got you.
Um, so what you get one of these. You can get a handheld one too, but I like the wrist ones.
How long does it take you to, be properly trained and then go on your first?
I don't know. I
Okay.
usually start shooting like a few months before the season starts, just to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just the kind I like. You put it around your wrist
Yeah.
like that,
And that's the release part, right? I think I've seen videos of it. It's like
and then
it loosens and
you clip it, and then you pull back. I'm not gonna pull it back because
yeah,
you really should have a arrow in when you do it. That's the setup.
How much is that? How much is that? Like,
They're pretty expensive. So this was, I think, like 1600, I think, something like that.
mm-hmm.
And that's just the bow. And then you need to add like the sight, the arrow rest, the stabilizer. But
I
yeah. And then it has a quiver that you can add too. So this like twists on here.
oh, that's where you don't have it on your back and then pull it up.
No, that's all the times that you see that. That's all fake. No one can actually
Oh,
do it.
is it? Oh, yeah. I think I've seen like Mongols. They have their on their side, so it's like easier. Is that what you meant?
I think so. But I still wouldn't be loading arrows quickly and like firing them. That's just to if I have one shot, and then if
Right,
I
right,
need to
right.
have like some type, like if I wounded it and if I need a quick second shot, I can just grab it there.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does make more sense. Why would you put it in your back and be like,
Yeah. So you just take it out, and then that is the sharp point. Actually, you guys, I can show you this as well. So this is the broadhead that I use, and this is an expandable broadhead. So I'm gonna take this rubber band off right here. Basically, when it hits the animal, right? No, I can't do it that way. When it hits the animal,
mm-hmm.
these things expand
Oh,
like that, and then they lock in place.
that's tough.
And yeah, so this is a 2-inch cutting diameter, I think, and the good thing is that it cuts more, but the bad thing is that it has less penetration. So that's one reason why the deer I shot in Kentucky didn't have, yeah, why
Okay.
it didn't go through. And
So
this thing is pretty cool. If it hits a bone or something, it should go around it, kind of like that.
I was just gonna ask, because what if it's like right on the bone, then it would just wouldn't go through, right?
Mm. Yeah, this tip would break the bone, but I don't know. Like, I think I'm gonna switch next season because I didn't have great penetration with these. So yeah, but in theory, it should go around the bone, but that didn't happen. So I'm probably gonna switch them.
The other thing you said about hunting elk with the other type of arrow, is it like fixed in place so there's more penetration? Like it can't like yeah, I think I've seen those ones.
Yeah, so there's fixed blades and there's mechanicals. This is a mechanical, and you can get mechanicals that have like a 1.5 inch that would still penetrate more just because there's less drag.
Mm-hmm.
But the mechanicals, um, they penetrate the most, but they also fly not as accurate because they're already out. Like the blades are already expanded, if that makes sense. and the air can drag on those weird. Whereas you saw this when it was closed, it kind of has like zero. It has like it has zero drag. And when you shoot, when you practice, you shoot with what's called field points, and they look like this. So
That looks.
yeah.
Wait, what is the purpose of this arrow?
This is to like practice with, so it
Oh,
flies straight because there's like no drag, and then it also you don't want to shoot something really sharp at your like at your target or something like that. It's just gonna.
if you accidentally shoot a person, would that like penetrate?
Oh, this would go. Yeah, this would go straight through
God.
you. But you don't want to shoot it with a deer because you want to you want to cut more. You don't want to just go straight through.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
what do like if I hunt with bullets, would the animal be killed faster? Like where do wait, why don't you
Um.
aim at the head? Is it because it's harder to
Well, it's a lot smaller target, and you just don't want, especially if it's a buck, you don't want to mess that up. It's
that's
just really not an ethical. It sounds nice because it'd be like a fast, quick kill, but it's just one of those things that you just don't really do. But the bullet would. It depends on if it's a good shot or not. Like it literally, like I shot one doe and it died in probably four. It ran 40 yards and I heard it crash in probably like 10 seconds. Like, and that was with a bow, you know. So it just depends on how good you can get your shot. And I've also seen guns that shoot them in like right in the middle, and then they don't die.
yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah. If yeah, I can see some people saying it's like torturing the animal because it's taking a long time, but it's really
Mhm. And again, you don't.
hard to,
No one intends for that to happen. Like,
right. It's still like you're still trying to make it as quick of a death as possible. You're
yeah, like there are people, like I said, that don't care if it takes a day to die, and because they know they're gonna find it, which I just hate that.
would
And even when I shot my buck in Kentucky, that took longer to die. Still, in like compared to most people, pretty quick kill. That really like kind of pissed me off that I didn't get a quick kill on it.
kill. Yep.
Um, but I was ultimately glad that we got it and that the meat didn't go to waste. We got the rack from it and stuff like that. But my dad had one deer last season that it was in the morning and it was like a fresh snow and he couldn't see that there was a stick and he hit the stick and it ended up like making it go a different way, like fly weird, and then it was a bad shot on the deer. And I eventually found it. I think it was like 6 hours later or something like that. And he had to give it one more shot, which we were both pretty sad because you'd never want to deal with that. But at the same time, we had been tracking it for 6 hours, and when you go that long, and it in snow and there's no blood, like red should show up on the snow, and
Hmm.
we weren't finding any. And I eventually just like found it, and we were both pretty bummed out. But you still never. It's still better to find it like that than to have it die and then you just never find it. I mean, some coyote would eat it, or some crows would eat it. It would eventually be used by the ecosystem, but it's still you just don't want to do that.
Is one shot like always the perfect like the goal? Because like even as you said, like it normally takes like an hour, 2 hours for an animal to die after you shoot it. So like why don't people just give it another two or three shots through the heart and be like, end it soon?
Well, I mean, especially with a bow, I mean, getting another shot, getting another arrow in that fast is like impossible. And then with a gun, usually after you shoot it once, it's going to be running. So hitting it a second time running is just going to be tough. And I say like it usually takes an hour or two. All of the deer I've shot, except for that one, have died within 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
So I just say like for me personally, it's usually a quick kill because I only take good shots. I'm not gonna take a shot where I don't think I'm gonna hit a good spot.
Mhm.
But like in the grand scheme of all hunters, most of them take bad shots and they don't care how long it takes for it to die.
Right. Yeah, you need a person to teach you like
Mm,
the right things to do.
yeah, just because they don't care enough. They don't really understand that they are taking an animal's life and that they don't really care how long it takes. They just care that they get their rack to go on the wall.